Hi, welcome back to my garden. It's one of the only times of year I can be outside with a tank top on and not get attacked by mosquitoes. So I am sitting out here enjoying the day. I wanted to show you my shade garden tour. So stay tuned, I'm gonna walk you through the shade garden. This is the second update of the year. First, we have my zinnia row, all these different zinnias, Oklahoma mix, Lilliput, solar flare, just a few zinnias to line the top of the bed. Further down the bed, I just set up my pole bean trellis and they actually started germinating today, so let's go over there and take a look. There's the first of the pole beans, my rattlesnake pole beans, and you can see the little green curl coming up next to it. I have a few others that germinated. I'm excited because I saw something had dug these up and definitely some were taken, but it looks like 5 or 6 at least are going to come up, and I have more seeds that I can direct sow once I know who got stolen. I have that white powder down because it's diatomaceous earth and it will make it uncomfortable for the roly-polies and slugs. They are notorious back here for chewing up all of my bean seeds, so I'm not taking any chances this time. And a little bit further in, that little green guy right there, I just planted a blacktail mountain watermelon there, and along the row here I have some other little tiny seedlings tucked in. You can see back here some of my pumpkins and squash that I planted. We'll go down there now. Here in front of us we have my Seminole pumpkin that I just planted. And we have my North Georgia candy roasters. They are looking so good, and I think they're a little pale, so I'm gonna fertilize them. They probably didn't have much nitrogen here in the soil. And then next to it here we have my green onion patch. The little guys I planted out this March, and then the bigger ones were planted last year, and they're starting to bloom. A little bit further down here I have my cosmos. They're so small you can barely see them. I think they will bloom though, because I had some bloom back here last year. Then we'll carry on this way. Here are some pumpkins a friend of mine gave me. They're just a jack-o'-lantern that got thrown out in the garden and they all germinated. So she gave me more seedlings that I know what to do with. So I planted 2 to start with. And then I have my kale, which is all bolting, my snapdragons, and my bachelor button back here. This one is a dark, you know what, actually I don't know what color this one is. I have dark blue and I have pink, and this one might end up being more on the pink side. Back here, you can get a better view of my kale. I have the classic blue curled kale. I have a very sad looking Ragged Jack kale, 1,000 head kale. Those are the ones I have over here. And then you can see my little snapdragons and my violas that are just so beautiful. This little panorama here is like my favorite spot in the garden right now. And I have been cutting these flowers for bouquets. So if you don't follow me on my other social media, you should check the description for my account name, because I post my bouquets on there. I've been harvesting these seeds too from the violas and Johnny jump ups. So actually I'll show you what that looks like, because I see one that just opened up with a bunch of seeds. So these reseed like crazy, and I never really ever saw the consequences of that, but I can now see how that's happening, because look here, that is just a pack full of seeds, and I'm actually going to harvest those because I mean, I would love not to buy these again, but they are darling, so I definitely want to grow a lot of them. And here's another one just nearby. Boom, look at all those seeds. When I'm done filming, I'll have to come get those. And I was just out here combing around for seeds. It's amazing that more opened up. Here's my little lettuce patch that I transplanted these. I transplanted the Ice Queen variety last. This has only been in the ground a couple weeks. My Tango Green. I have my, I think this is my bib. No, this is my black seeded Simpson. And then some Merlot, 1 bib lettuce. And then I think that oak leaf got mislabeled, because that is not an oak leaf. And then I have some violas next to that, as well as more kale. Moving on from here, these are the Cool Breeze violas from Botanical Interest, and I have not gotten them to bloom yet, so I don't know what it'll look like, but we have one coming soon. I winter sowed those. Then on through here, we have my marigold patch and some cucamelons. So in the marigolds, I actually have a couple varieties. I have the Cracker Jack marigolds, which are going to be massive. They can get, I mean, they go 3 feet tall at least. I probably want to pinch them back this year. They really took off in the last couple days. And then back here, I have the Mission variety, which is one that my mom gave me seeds for. And then over here, I have Kilimanjaro white marigold seeds. And behind them, I actually have some foxgloves. You can see those planted back there. Those were seeds from my mom as well. And then I have my little cucamelon teepees. These cucamelons are actually doing so well. Look at that guy. He is climbing. Every day he reaches a new rung. They're going multiple directions too. It's like a 3-pronged attack of the trellis. This back one, I need to help attach. He keeps jumping off. I know it's kind of frustrating to watch someone fail to trellis something. That tendril is actually a little damaged. I might leave him alone. But there in the middle, I have a little Thumbelina zinnia. It's supposed to be very, very petite, so I don't think it'll cause any problems there. There's my other cucamelon. He was a little sickly. I don't know how he will do. Some blank space. And then my beautiful lettuce patch, which I just cannot do justice when I take photos of it. In the front here, I have the mesclun mix from Botanical Interests with a few Merlot seeds sprinkled in. And then I have oak leaf lettuce. And behind that, I have my Merlot patch. This is just the most stunning little patch of lettuce. And I've been picking from it every few days. It's really hitting its stride all of a sudden. Next to that, we have my dry flower section. In the front, we have some vintage white straw flowers. I have not grown this color before, but I have grown the silvery rose ones last year. And I have some smaller ones because I did 2 waves of sowing seeds. So all these are going to be straw flowers. And then the back 3 rows are gomphrena, some of them being older and stronger than others. So the gomphrena, I have the QIS variety, which my mom gave me seeds for from Johnny's. And then in the back I have Strawberry Fields gomphrena. And both the gomphrena and the straw flowers are going to be fabulous as dried flowers, which I love. I have a bouquet on my desk of dried straw flowers from last year, which I want to add to this year. And then I have my chives here blooming, and those blooms actually hold up really well in bouquets. I've had a bouquet going for 3 days now with some blooms, and you would never know those were 3 days old. They're doing really well. So here's my little herb patch. This is the shadiest row in my whole garden. So I wanted to put very shade tolerant things here. My thyme loves it. I don't know if I should let my thyme continue blooming. That's just common thyme, and it is turning white. It is really covered in flowers. So I don't know if I should pick that. Please let me know. My lemon thyme came back from the grave, I've been saying. It is doing so well. I need to do some like chicken dish with that. It does taste lemony. Then I have some kind of scrawny little parsley that I grew over the winter and that I've transplanted here. I have my green onions. There's some small ones and some older ones. My oregano, which is going crazy, and more parsley next to that. So coming down the row, you're seeing all my green onions, young and old. Here's some more green onions. They're doing pretty well. They're kind of scary how small they are, but they've actually like tripled in size in a month. I have a dill there in the middle, some bolting cilantro. Those garlic cloves that I mentioned in my last tour, they're actually really thickening their leaves up. They might do something. And then I have my nasturtium and kale area. So nothing is really bothering the nasturtiums right now. I know some people think they're trap crops, I believe for aphids, but you know, the aphids are not messing with them. But they're not blooming yet either. I know it's really shady, so they won't be blooming at their most potential, but they actually might last the summer, even with the heat being in such a shady spot. So the kale here is interesting because I ignore those tags. I was just using the tags to delineate where the kale was. They're not cauliflower. But I have a combination of things. So I have lacinato kale, like those two. And then this is the dazzling blue kale. It has a little bit of a purpling to it. And I haven't seen it get any bigger than this yet, so I have not even tasted it. But it's amazing how similar that is to lacinato. And I'm not surprised. I mean, they said it would be similar. So with the nasturtiums, I have a few varieties. I have the orchid cream, which is going to be a white flower with a colorful center. And then the classic jewel mix is what's along the back there. You know, like the red and the orange. Here's my beautiful rosemary that I'm so proud of because he almost died last year. And then I have my trailing nasturtiums from Johnny's that my mom gave me seeds for. She and I did a big seed swap. And they have not started trailing yet, but they also have the disadvantage of this is the very most shady spot. And I put some more parsley and more foxgloves. And I also did not amend this section very much, but I just bought more fertilizer, so I actually may take care of them now. And then behind that, I have my oregano that I had going in a pot, but it actually was not doing that well in the pot. So I just dug a section out, threw the potted soil in, and now it is going to live out here. So that's my overview. I'm in the middle of planting a bunch of stuff today and I kind of needed a break just to think about things. But I also now have a tripod and I'm loving this. This is so much smoother than what I was doing. So that's the shade garden update for the end of April 2022. That is my shade garden tour for today. I love this little spot, so I'm sitting over here with my flowers. And overall, I have been making a lot of progress in the other parts of the garden as well. So stay tuned for a future video. I'll show you my raised beds. I have 6 raised beds in a pretty large container garden. So if you haven't seen that yet, go watch my tour of that area as well, because I'll be doing an update on that very soon. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and if you like my new tripod.